Buildings across Europe have been lit up in the black, yellow and red colors of the Belgian flag this evening. The Eiffel Tower in Paris, Brandenburg Gate in Berlin and the Trevi fountain in Rome have been illuminated. Belgian Prime Minister Charles Michel joined Suis Rowds for a candlelit vigil in Place de la Bourse in Brussels. Series of blasts, which ISIS has claimed responsibility for, killed 34 people and injured close to 200 others today by Flora, Drury in Brussels, Belgium and Jenny Stanton and Stephanie Linning for MailOnline Published. 20:10 GMT, the 22nd of March 2016, updated, 01:55 GMT, the 23rd of March 2016. Thousands have gathered for a candlelit vigil in the heart of Brussels hours after 34 people lost their lives in a series of terror attacks across the city. Moving images taken tonight show strangers standing in solidarity with the victims and their families, carrying banners that read, Je suis Bruxelles. Young children were seen crying in the arms of their parents as they left flowers, balloons and notes of comforts in the shrine in Place de la Bourse. Meanwhile, landmarks around the globe have been lit up with the black, yellow and red colors of the Belgian flag in a show of support. The Eiffel Tower in Paris, Brandenburg Gate in Berlin and the Trevi fountain in Rome were among those illuminated, just hours after explosions tore through Brussels airport and a metro station in the city center. In New York City, the spire on One World Trade was supposed to be lit in red, yellow and black but instead appeared to be blue, white and red. The Empire State Building's spire was turned off altogether. Scroll down for video tributes. People hold up a banner reading Je suis Bruxelles as a mark of solidarity at Place de la Bourse. After today's deadly attacks, Mourning. A woman hugs a child as they pay a tribute to victims of terrorist attacks at a makeshift memorial in Belgium's capital today. Young women hold each other at a makeshift memorial in front of the stock exchange at the Place de la Bourse in Brussels this evening in loving memory. Candles are lit and dozens of touching notes left in honor of the 31 people who were killed in today's Brussels attack. Belgian Prime Minister Charles Michel stands next to European Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker as he lights a candle at the shrine. Left, right. A woman bends down to add her candle to a tribute created in the wake of the terror attacks. Earlier today, a woman weeps as she pauses for thought at the candlelit vigil in Place de la Bourse, in the center of Brussels. Tonight, crowds of people waited to reach the candle tribute in the square, where thousands of people visited last night to pay their respects. Belgian flag. The Eiffel Tower in Paris is illuminated black, yellow and red in tribute to the victims of today's bomb attacks in Brussels, while the air in the square was heavy with grief and somber respect. Armed police officers nearby served as a reminder of a city still in high alert. A major manhunt is underway for an ISIS suspect in a white coat and black hat who fled Brussels airport after 2 explosions ripped through the terminal in a suicide bomb attack this morning, killing 14 people and injuring dozens of others. Just 79 minutes later, 20 others died when a second blast went off in Maelbeek Metro station, just meters from the EU headquarters. Some 200 people have also been injured in the strikes. Belgian Prime Minister Charles Michel joined residents in Place de la Bourse, where messages of condolence, outrage and love were written in chalk on the pavement. Some of those gathered broke out into an impromptu rendition of Imagine by John Lennon, while others stood in silence. One group broke into Edith Piaf's Hymn à l'amour, Hymn to Love, as onlookers applauded. Next, they broke into the Belgian national anthem, in both the country's national languages, French and Flemish. One woman sat against a concrete planter at the edge of the square and sobbed quietly. The messages ran from the political, "Stop this war in Syria," to the peaceful, "Love is my religion." Some were simply raw, "I'm scared." At the center of the square, a memorial was improvised out of flags, tea lights, balloons, flowers and, because this is Belgium, beer bottles. Some laughed with friends. Others cried quietly alone or on their partner's shoulders. Pep and Kenneth, 27, had tears in his eyes as he and his girlfriend drew the words "Heart Both Hot, Heart Over Hate" in pink and yellow chalk in front of the Bourse. Kenna said he was distraught by the sight of soldiers and heavy weaponry now commonplace across the capital, Italy. The black, yellow, and red colors of the Belgian flag are projected on the Trevi fountain in Rome to pay tribute to the victims worldwide. Brandenburg Gate in Berlin, Germany, was lit up with the black, yellow and red colors of the Belgian flag this evening. The Burj Khalifa in Dubai was covered in lights designed to look like the flag of the European Union, left, and the Belgian flag. Bright respect. People bow their heads as they gather outside the City Hall in Lisbon, which is illuminated in the colors of the Belgian flag. The Netherlands Royal Palace in Dam Square, Amsterdam, displays the colors of the Belgian flag. The Eiffel Tower in Paris was also lit up. Unity. The columns outside the courthouse in Lyon, France, were also lit up in the colors of the Belgian flag tonight. Nagerde Stadion, home to Hungary's Debreceni Vasut Sport Club, also lit up the night sky in red, black and yellow today. Photographs taken in New York tonight show the One World Trade Center's 408 feet spire lit in the colors of the French, not Belgian, flag. The minute we put soldiers in the street, they've won, he said. Carrion Fowles was gently scolding her daughter Cheraz as they lit a candle for the vigil. "It's important for us to be here," she told her daughter. Ms. Fowles, a 47-year-old account director, smiled when asked why she came. "Our whole life is in this city," she said. She said she dragged her 13-year-old out to show her that we can't stop living just because of some monstrous idiots who are driven by ideology. That's why we bring coffee to soldiers, why we bring flowers to vigils, again and again. It has to be a lesson for my little girl, that she learns never to be scared." Student Laura Carthoiser, 20, said, "This is my city and this is my country. What's happened today is really terrible. We've come here to support each other and see what was written on the pavement. It's really touching." Belgian Prime Minister Charles Michel, right, embraces European Union Commission President Jean-Claude Juncker at the vigil. Candles and a cross have been placed at the makeshift memorial at the Place de la Bourse in Brussels, where crowds gathered in honor and memory. Scores of people bring flowers and candles to mourn for the victims at Place de la Bourse in the center of Brussels. Rest in peace. A young girl lights a candle at the Place de la Bourse following today's attacks in Brussels, in which 31 people were killed, young and old. Mourners of all ages turned out to the Place de la Bourse in Brussels today to pay tribute to those who were tragically killed. Solidarity. Mourners lay candles at the Place de la Bourse in Brussels this evening following the terror attacks which have rocked the world. A man waves a Belgian flag above the crowds that have gathered in the center of Brussels to remember the victims of the terror attacks. Laura Gentuzzi, 21, added, "My friends and we're at home and we thought we would come here and light some candles, to be together and to support Brussels." Underneath their feet are brightly colored chalk messages, reminiscent of those written on the pavements of Paris after its own attack just a few months ago. Unity, peace, love, and Bruxelles toujours, Brussels forever, has been carefully written across the ground. Other messages are more pertinent. Chrétien plus Musulman plus Juif equals humanite. Christian and Muslim and Jewish equals humanity. One piece declares. Another reads, "If you are here with the objective to make us afraid, you have failed. We are here in peace, in a land of peace." Some do not use words. A woman and a man are drawn next to each other, tears pouring from their eyes. Gabrielle kneels on the ground writing her message with a tiny piece of chalk she found. She isn't from Brussels, only moving here from her native France 3 years ago, but she felt a need to join others to pay tribute. One man looks deep in thought as he kneels down next to a candle tribute at the Place de la Bourse in Belgium tonight. 2 women kneel down in the center of the square next to a sign, reading, "Je suis Bruxelles," a slogan of solidarity. Bouquets of flowers were left next to candles and balloons in a brightly colored makeshift shrine in the center of the city in a show of solidarity. Brussels residents made the trip to this square to remember those who lost their lives in attacks. Across the city, this message of love is one of dozens that have been written on the ground. In chalk in the center of Bourse Square, one mourner drew a chalk picture of a woman with tears in her eyes, who was being outlined in candles by those at the vigil. Two people crossed their legs and sat next to each other for a moment's silence as they remembered those who were killed on Tuesday. This photograph shows the crowds of people who have gathered tonight in the Place de la Bourse. It's our city, the 20-year-old says defiantly. We are so sad to think about the people who died this morning. There are other signs of defiance here too. The white rose placed carefully in the mouth of the stone lion, which stands guard in front of the city's 200-year-old stock exchange. Watching the scene quietly as Gilles Vossen, leaning on his bike clutching a white rose, a stranger passed to him, a gesture of solidarity. I just came from my work and I passed here, Gilles, 30, told MailOnline. I just had to stop. These are our people. We are a big and a small city at the same time. As you can see, there are a lot of people here, from a lot of origins. Smaller demonstrations of solidarity were also held. At a concert in London last night, Adele asked fans to hold up their illuminated mobile phones in a mark of respect to those who lost their lives. Unity. People gathered outside the Hôtel de Ville in Paris to remember the victims. Just months after the city was shaken by terror attacks, Adele fans at the singer's concert at the O2 in London were asked to hold up their illuminated phones in a show of support. Place de la Bourse. Underneath the feet of the people walking through the square in the heart of the Belgian capital are chalk messages. Brussels is beautiful. People have been writing on the pavements in scenes reminiscent of those in Paris, France. In November, two people write solidarity messages in chalk outside the stock exchange in Brussels. Unity, peace, love, and Bruxelles toujours, Brussels forever, has been carefully written across the ground.